Good evening, everybody. Welcome to APPF1 Tier 3. We are on round... I think this is round 7, is it? Or is it 6? Yeah, I think it's round 7 of 10. Apologies, it's been a bit of a mad few moments. But here we are. Yes, so this week we take on the famous or infamous, I wouldn't know what to call it, Las Vegas City Street Circuit, famously renowned for being an upside down pig. And look who's joined the session, LB Racing. So much for touching grass and being with your mates. Let's quickly find who is furthest ahead on a lap. I think it could be Josh. Yeah, I think it's going to be Josh, the guy, the first on the lap. So, yes, unfortunately, attendance is a little bit low tonight. With just 11 drivers on the grid. But although there is only 11, let's hope the racing action is still as competitive as ever. No, we don't, Denko. We don't take it seriously at all. So Josh the guy will be the first driver to come across the line to set a time, running very wide at the end of the straight and invalidating, as we'll find the next driver to come up to the line, which will be Robsu, who will set a time. I will get the corner numbers up in a minute, so it sounds a bit more professional. But across the line comes Rob, so it's a 132.891. So we have James Gardner across the line, and Avenir has crossed the line for 132. And here we go. The times are coming down. Joey B to the top of the timing sheets. I did practice with Joe half an hour ago or 45 minutes ago, and he is looking pretty pacey around here. I believe he does have racing line on for this week, being such a treacherous circuit. So Drogon has just come down the long straight and through the chicane. It's coming up to the last corner now. Pretty much full throttle down most of the way around this circuit. And Drogon goes P2 of a 132.329. Joey B has a tenth and a half buffer. Hello, Sumo. This attendance is smaller than the shit that blocked your toilet. It wasn't the toilet blockage, I'm afraid, Sumo. I'm very sorry to disappoint you. This is what happens when you let children do the washing up with food on the plate, and it blocked the U-bend. I'm sure you will beg to differ on what I will tell you anyway, so pretty much I'm just talking to a brick wall right now. But if it makes you feel better, yes, I clogged up the toilet with a banging turd, and it's currently picking up as a submarine on the sonar. Russians are very interested in my turds right now. Right, so whilst everybody has kind of done the provisional first run, let's quickly just bang through the standings, shall we, from last week. So last week we had a sprint event at Silverstone, and then we raced the normal way around in the sprint, and then in the feature race, 50% race, we did Silverstone in reverse. That was my idea, and I think it went down quite well. I'd like to think so. A few people not so keen on it, but a lot of people also turned around and said that it was actually quite entertaining. Mainly just to have a mixture, a mixed up grid, and I think that's as we saw in most tiers, that was the case. So ads is on an outlap at the moment. So just quickly bang through the standings. Is Runes in the mud? Says Zeki in the chat. Well, Runes is top of the standings on 101 points at the moment, 12 points clear of LB Racing, but having a social life is more important to LB Racing, but yet he sits in the lobby. Strange behaviour. Robsu is in third on 74 points. 27 points behind Rune. And then we have Josh the Guy in 4th position, who has won the last 2 races, 36 points off of Rune's at the moment. But Josh the Guy is the man in form in the McLaren at the moment. And then in 5th place, we have James Gardner on 64 points. Then we've got Joey B on 59, Avenir, Drogon, Ralphie, MS, Stanley, Ads, Wizard, Lil Lou Grill, Rycon, Tia, Bacon Bear, Primeval, and Papito. And just to quickly run through the constructors' standings, as everyone is on an outlap at the moment, we'll try and ride on board with Runes while I bang through this. So, constructors. No, this is Drivers' Championship. Here we go. Constructors. Aston Martin lead the way on 155 points. So the Aston Martin drivers are Avenir and Runes, both having a very strong season. In second, we have McLaren, the duo of Josh the Guy and Joey B on 124 points. That's a 31 deficit to Aston Martin, who are top of the table. Then on 119 points, just 5 points behind, actually tied, is both Red Bull sister teams. So Visa Cash App, well, whatever you want to call them. Then we've got the actual Red Bull Racing. They're both on 119 points. And I believe both drivers for both teams are in attendance tonight. So all going well. It should shake up constructors quite nicely. Runes has invalidated his time. So we will check out Avenir, who is just starting a lap. In 5th, we've got Ferrari on 67 points, tied with Mercedes, also on 67 points. Alpine on 54, Williams on 42, Kick Sauber on 26, and Haas Ferrari round off the constructors on 23 points. So Avenir running a bit wide there, and this is a horrible sector to get wrong, because if you catch the curbs, you just ride the curbs and you lose so much time. Horrible corners to get stuck on. I'm sure we are cooking tomorrow for constructors, Denko. I am sure we are. My pace wasn't as strong as Joe's, so I was about quarter of a second off Joey B. Runes is fastest at the moment. Then we've got Joey B in second, who is actually coming down the back straight, and I'm sure he will improve. Will Joe? He was really strong in practice. Not if you have anything to say about it. Very, very scary words, Sumo. Me and Denko are shaking in our boots at the prospect of having to fight you at the back. So Joey B up to the line, goes provisional pole with a 131.6, and that is a huge gap already to Runes, who's in second at the moment. So that's a half a second gap for Joey B. So Joey B flexing his muscles around this Vegas circuit as be careful, Runes. We've seen many people disqualified for things like this. Don't want to drive the wrong way too much. No, I think he's just got away with it. So Josh the Guy is in third at the moment, so this could be a very strong week for the McLarens. We'll also keep an eye on the likes of Drogon, who has found quite a bit of form recently as Drogon, but he's just clipped the barrier coming out of turn 2 there, going down to turn 3. We will keep an eye on Josh the Guy. He's down on his time, I think. Maybe he's coming in this lap. Yeah, Josh the Guy is coming in. James Gardner up to second position with a 131.8. That's a really good lap by James Gardner. We have Drogon currently on a lap. We'll see what he's doing. A horrible few windy corners this. There's a few bumps on the track. If you catch those bumps, they really do unsettle the car. Drogon has invalidated, and he was half a second up on his time there. He'll be pretty frustrated with that. MS. Don't believe MS raced last week, or if he did. Not sure MS did race last week, but he has been improving week on week with his results as it stands. Ralphie has invalidated. So LB Racing is second in the championship, and he is on an out lap as it stands. Not sure how long there is to go, as there is an Alpine causing yellow flags out there. It's not Bacon Bear. It is whoever is just coming into the pits. That'll be Ralphie. So just under 5 minutes of this session to go. LB Racing is on an out lap. I do not know what LB is doing there. He is trying to warm up his tyres, and he's damaged his front wing. Yes. So will he come in, or will he try and set a flying lap with a missing front left end plate? Wouldn't be advisable around here. He's coming in the pits. Robsu's just coming in the pits. Runes is just coming in the pits. Avenir is retired on track. Yes, the Aston Martin looks like he's just clipped the turn 3 wall. I'm guessing he's lost his front left tyre. LB Racing saying oops for the front wing damage. Good evening, LB. It's nice that you're tuned in and listening to the stream. I hope it is to your satisfaction so far this evening. So a few cars in the grid at the moment. Thankfully, tyre wear is looking a lot better this round, as I believe Ads will be the first driver to start the last of the flying laps. Bacon Bear is currently at the back of the field with a 1:34.620. Yeah, easy one stop, says Sumo. I think so. That's unlucky, Avenir. We've all done it. Don't worry, Sumo. I'll make sure this is a 2-stop race for you tomorrow, or a no-stop race when I plough you into the barrier. So a few cars coming out of the pits. So Ads will be the first car to start the last lap. A little bit of traffic coming out of the pits. I don't think this current car, Alpine, coming out of the pits should disturb him, and Joey B is just down the road, but Joe will be is very courteous usually and will stay out the way. So Ads coming up to the first sector line. He is fractionally up on his time at the moment. This is a very tight and technical sector, running very wide there and invalidating, just taking too much of the inside of the curb. So next car back is Drogon. We will ride on board with Drogon, and we've got to keep an eye on Josh the Guy as well, to see how these lap times come down. So Drogon, I believe he's Bulgarian. Or is he Italian? Oh no, I think he might be Italian, sorry. Apologies, Drogon. Apologies. Decides to not get the slipstream. I'm guessing that was LB he just passed on the straight. Or LB's teammate. So, that must have been apologies, that must have been Ads. So Drogon coming up to the line in the Red Bull, crosses the line and goes pole with a 1:31.524. a stonking lap there from Drogon. Joey B will have something to say about that, most definitely. Josh the guy is currently not on a lap unless he's doing another warm-up lap. The way he's weaving, I'm guessing he's building up to have a go. Ralphie just starting a lap as well. We will keep an eye on LB Racing. So LB doing one lap. It's a 26.859 at the moment. We'll keep an eye on the Visa Cash App driver. But also we'll keep an eye on Joey B as well, who's pretty much identical with his personal best at the moment. So maybe Drogon just snatching pole position away from Joey B. As Joey B, I'm sure, does have a better time in the bank. I'm sure he's invalidated in the last corner, so he will be annoyed with himself for that. James Gardner next coming down the straight, and also who was that? That was Josh Guy. And we need to keep an eye on LB Racing as well. That's looking very fast for the Visa Cash App driver. Invalidates into the last corner. LB Racing will be starting dead last. We got Runes here as well, and we'll need to keep an eye on James Gardner, who crosses the line. Or coming up to the line, shall I say. Around the final corner. Maximum throttle stays in P3. Runes just starting to come down the back straight. Oh, sorry, that was Robsu just starting to come down the back straight. I can't get my words right this evening. Okay, Runes this time. Around the last corner, foot down, and 5th place for Runes. Robsu just about to finish the lap. The number 8 Red Bull racer. Can Robsu improve this P4? He's getting slightly better in qualifying, and I'm not too sure where that was. It's P4 for Robsu. So let's quickly run through the 12 drivers for tonight's Las Vegas Grand Prix. Drogon, the Italian, is on pole position with a 131.524, and then second we've got Joey B, third we've got James Gardner, fourth we've got Robsu, fifth we've got Runes, sixth is MS, seventh is Josh the Guy, eighth is Avenir, ninth is Ralphie, 10th is Ads, 11th is Bacon Bear, and rounding off the field with the wooden spoon is LB Racing, unfortunately not being able to set a lap time. LB saying, oh boy, in the chat, but we all know LB too well. He never rule him out. So the drivers are on the grid, just quickly selecting their strategies and fuel loads for today's race. Please feel free to bang in your predictions for today's Las Vegas Grand Prix. LB, we've seen this game from you before. You say rule me out, and then all of a sudden you're going to do a last to first challenge and probably finish 20 seconds clear of everybody. But this is Vegas. Anything is possible. Hello to everybody who is watching live on YouTube. Please do feel free to give the stream a like, drop us a follow if you don't already. It's greatly appreciated. I think I'm pushing 100 subscribers on YouTube. So anyway, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are underway. It's time to roll the dice in Las Vegas. It's not gambling for money tonight, but we are gambling for Drivers' Championships. Drogon runs wide and Joey B gets a beautiful inside line as Drogon goes round sideways. And Drogon finds himself right at the back of the field, and it's a dream start for Joey B, as we have virtual safety car already. So whilst the virtual safety car is out, let's just quickly get what we need up on the screen. So Joey B up 1 position, Robsu's up 2, Runes is up 2, his MS is up 2, Ads is up 5 positions in the first corner. That's a brilliant start for Ads. Avenir up 2, Ralphie up 2, LB Racing up to 8th already. Josh the Guy has lost 2 positions. Bacon Bear is up 1 position. James Gardner has lost 8 positions, and Drogon has lost a position as well. How is that a virtual? Well, looking like everybody is still in, but yeah, not too sure. The Ferrari, James Gardner, completely missing his front wing, and Drogon missing his front left end plates. And now it's just down to the drivers to manage their pace. Avenir not going backwards at the start is rare. Avenir has found a fair bit of pace recently. So let's just quickly have a look at the tyre choices for tonight. So an easy 1 stop is predicted, as Joe and Robsu on the medium tyres, and then Runes is on the hard tyres. And then we've got MS, Avenir, and Ads on mediums. Then the rest of the grid, Ralphie, LB, Josh, Bacon Bear, James Gardner, and Drogon on the hards. But Drogon and James Gardner are about to come into the pits, I'd imagine, and upset their strategy. So lap 2 of 25. Joey B leads the way, but he has got Robsu in close company. And behind Robsu is the Aston Martin of Runes on the hard tyres. It's imperative that these 2 medium runners and even Avenir and Ads make the most of these medium tyres and pull out a gap, because if you pull along the hard running tyres around here, you're going to be under real pressure from the medium runners at the end, such with the pacier grip. But medium tyres on this game are not the best tyres, as Robsu and Joey B have dropped Runes at a considerable rate already. 1.7 seconds behind. Avenir splitting the Aston Martin strategy. He's on the medium tyres and got his teammate. But, oh wow, as we have Runes who's missed the braking point at the start of the long straight, the Vegas Strip, and he finds himself down in 9th position. That is a horrible error by Runes. And Avenir has been promoted to 3rd, but Avenir also ran wide, so Ads is going to be looking very racy behind the Aston Martin, and the Ads is through into the podium positions, steady as you like, and Ads is having a very strong start to tonight's Vegas Grand Prix. So the battle out front as Robsu takes the fastest lap. Hugo in the chat just joining to see Runes mess up. I'm sure you'll offer him your full support. So the rocket ship Robsu versus Joey B, the 2 tier 2 veterans is probably the best way to put it. Very, very experienced league racers. Very experienced league racers in APP doing battle at the front of the grid here, and they have such a comfortable gap already to the rest of the field. LB Racing is up to 5th position. He's now in the lead car of the hard tyre runners. So LB Racing just minding his own business. This is what he does. This is how he wins championships. He's got 1 tier 3 title and 2 tier 2 titles. He knows how to manage a championship battle. The pole lap time was a 1:31.5 by Drogon. And Joey B was 1:31.6, I believe it was. So Robsu just happy to sit behind Joey B at the moment, as they just work on extending the gap out the front, as Avenir has got past ads for P3. The Aston Martin driver on the medium tyres really looking to get a hold of the constructors. Get a hold of the constructors here at the moment, because his teammate Runes is floundering down in 9th position. But it's not disaster for Runes P9, because there is only 12 drivers on the grid. Everybody will score points tonight. So Runes has just got to keep it clean, essentially. And I'm sure he's got the pace to work his way back into this. So we'll keep an eye on at what point do the hard tyres become better than the medium tyres, as Joey B has just got I'd just say just outside a second. Robsu has just worked back into it, as LB Racing is all over the back of his teammate here. Will Ads adhere to his teammate and let him through? I don't think he's going to let him through, but LB Racing does activate his DRS and sets himself about Avenir, the car in front. Avenir's gap is just over a second, but he'll be looking to make use of those medium tyres. Josh the Guy, Joey B's teammate, in 6th position at the moment, just didn't work out for him in qualifying. Pretty much is where he started at the moment, roughly. We've got Ralphie in P7. That was a very solid start for Ralphie at the moment, just keeping his nose clean. It's always good to see. Anything can happen in Vegas. A late safety car can really shake the standings up and upset the order. Runes is in P8, just recovering from that error he made. Bacon Bear is in P9, as Runes is the first driver to pick up a track limit penalty already tonight. Bacon Bear just looking to keep the car on the track and avoid damage. James Gardner and MS and Drogon, the 3 cars at the back. I'd imagine they are, although Drogon is a little bit behind these two at the moment, maybe just a case of using DRS to its full effect rather than battling and getting trying to pull themselves back into the race. Speaking of race on, it is still Joey B in first and Robsu in second. Half a second is the difference, and a whopping 6.6 seconds to Avenir behind, as LB Racing is still hanging on to the back of the Aston Martin. So I'd imagine in the next 2 or 3 laps we will see the medium tyres really begin to struggle, and we have yellow flags out there, as I believe that is Bacon Bear who has ran on at the end of the long straight, and it is Bacon Bear. Hopefully no damage for Bacon Bear. Still Robsu just very content at following Joey B. I'd imagine they're both running very low wings around here, so maybe just nullifying the wing effect here around here. I'd imagine from what I've seen, there's going to be quite a few very low wings being chosen around here for this week in APP. But definitely Robsu is notoriously fast down straights. No matter wherever we go, he will get maximum pace out of his car on the straight, and is as close as he has ever been behind JB. LB Racing gets ahead of Avenir behind, but we're just going to keep an eye on this exchange for the lead here, as Robsu ducks to the inside here, just giving each other a wide berth and a clear amount of space, so no silly contact happens, and that's probably the most sensible thing for them to do if they want to build an extensive gap out the front. LB Racing is 9.2 seconds behind Avenir. 9.2 seconds behind Joey B, as Joe has a little look up the inside of Robsu going into turn 1. That's a stupendous gap to the cars behind. I'm wondering if Avenir and LB have had a moment somewhere, or whether they've just raced side by side through a tight complex. because that gap is ferocious. But it's looking like we're going to see a different winner potentially tonight. It's going to be down to Joey B and Robsu. I believe, Joey B hasn't won a Tier 3 race. Robsu has won a Tier 3 race. The first one that comes to my mind is Australia last season, where he was just smoking hot in the rain, just untouchable in the wet conditions. So LB Racing just extending the gap to Avenir to outside a second. And now he can start working at grinding in the cars in front. LB Racing pretty much writing off his chances before this race. I'm calling BS on that. He knows he's fast. As Joey B and Robsu again. Maybe Joe did get past Robsu and I've missed it, but Robsu reclaiming the lead here as Joe runs very close to the Red Bull driver, just very keen to try and redeem the lead of the race. But it's a long race, and maybe this race can be won on strategy if they can time their pit stops right. I would imagine a 25-lap race, so we're maybe looking at maybe lap 10 or 11 for the medium runners to come in and box onto the hards. I'm sure whatever Robsu and Joe do, I imagine Joe does have a lap in mind, so he will do the opposite to what Robsu does to try and you don't want to pit at the same time because that doesn't really gain anything. There's definitely more to gain than lose here for Joe at the moment, as he is still right on the back of that Red Bull Racing car. 8 seconds is the gap to LB behind, as the race has slowly settled down now. As the back three drivers of James Gardner, Drogon and MS are slowly working their way up the field. Bacon Bear is also in that train at the back as well of 4 cars. Joey B got so close to the Red Bull on the last lap. Will be keen not to make that mistake again, otherwise front wing damage will almost certainly spell the end of his race if we don't see a safety car around here. So he'll want to avoid any mistakes there, but Robsu will be, probably is the hardest driver to overtake in Tier 3, especially tonight, just due to his straight line speed. So it's just all about just trying to get up behind him and getting such a good drive out of a corner into a DRS zone, as Bacon Bear once again runs wide at the end of the Las Vegas strip. Unfortunately for Bacon Bear, but still in the race and still going to score some good points. My favourite thing about Vegas is that massive dome there with the face on it. I absolutely love it. I do love the dome or the globe or whatever you want to call it. But also, the race in Las Vegas has produced in real life has been very good, to be fair. Took a bit of a beating for being very manufactured and just trying to forcing the event, really. But to be fair, whenever we have gone racing here in the last couple of years, it has produced has been a good spectacle. I've enjoyed Vegas being on the calendar in real life, and I really do hope it stays on. I just don't like the 4 a.m. start that we get here in the United Kingdom. So Joey B still hanging on to the back of Robsu. Robsu took the lead 3 laps ago and hasn't looked back. The gap to LB is down to 7 seconds behind now, so those hard tyres are coming to LB Racing. So I'd imagine in the next couple of laps these two medium running tyres will look to pit and try and undercut on LB and build up as much of a gap as possible, because LB, now he's in clear air, is looking a bit racier. We do have a battle going on back here as Runes has got past Ralphie. Runes undoing his error and is up in P5 at the moment. He'll be content with that. The losing not as many points to LB Racing now. I think that's a 4-point loss to LB at the moment. I don't have the points in front of me at the moment, but Runes slowly begins to turn the screw now. That 3 seconds time penalty will hurt. So Joey B looking at the back of Robsu, not sending it at the end of the Las Vegas strip, as just like Robsu a few laps ago, that's the closest he's been to him. As okay, now Joe decides that's enough for the medium tyres. He's going to come into the pits and try and get the undercut. So we'll see where Joe comes out. Slows the car down nicely, avoiding a 10-second speeding penalty. So LB now inherits P2 on the track, as Josh Shagai now is in P3, and Runes and everybody moves up the field. Joey B is going to come out in 6th position, as he will have a little bit of clear air in front of him, so that will work wonders for the McLaren. But also, this is one of those tracks where it's imperative you get DRS as soon as possible as well. Otherwise, you just lose so much pace without the DRS. But I'd imagine what we've seen from Joey B, he will be on the back of Ralphie before we know it. 6.5 seconds between Robsu and LB. The gap to LB behind is slowly coming down. He's reeling Robsu in like a big fish. He's got a nibble on his rod and he's reeling him in. Ralphie is having a very strong race, actually, to be fair. He's on par while he's still, just outside of Runes' DRS, but keeping up with some of the big hitters in Tier 3. So Ralphie is having a great outing in the Alpine tonight. Hopefully he can stay there, as Robsu now ducks into the pits to retaliate to Joey B's pit stop, and we will see where Robsu comes out in regards with his battle with Joey B here. So Robsu is coming down the pit lane. Has Joey B got the undercut on Robsu? And this is going to be very tight. Not quite, as the gap is now pretty much as it was. But Joey B will have the warm tyres and he will have DRS. Robsu does not have DRS. This is Joe's time to get the overtake done. No, maybe Joe's just going to wait for the Las Vegas strip. But Ralphie ahead could be a factor here. If Robsu can get the DRS, then that will almost certainly help his bid to keep the lead. Look at Joey B all over the back of the Red Bull through the tight, windy sector in few corners, in Sector 2, as Robsu is 1.5 seconds behind Ralphie at the moment. It's going to be very intriguing if this Red Bull, he's run very wide there, but he's within DRS of Ralphie, but also Joe is in DRS of Robsu. This is going to be very tight as they go 3 wide down the Las Vegas strip. This is the racing we wanted, as I just don't think Joe's got the pace or has got an answer to Robsu's rocket ship. The only thing Joe could probably do is just build up his ERS and try and smoke him at the start of the strip. But Robsu, as I have repeatedly said today, just runs so low wings around here. Around every track he runs at, he is impossible to overtake sometimes. So this is going to be a straight shootout for the lead here. And Robsu is under no pressure for ERS as well. So now the front runners will be catching up to the back of Runes and Josh Tagai, as those hard tyres will be definitely at the end of their sell-by date, as Bacon Bear comes into the pits in the Alpine. We'll keep an eye on this battle here between Joey B and Robsu, as this is for the net race lead at the moment. So the actual race lead is not far away. They've almost got a pit stop on the cars ahead, which is such to their ferocious pace. The pit lane is short round here, thankfully, but the Red Bull and McLaren just look untouchable tonight. Robsu does have DRS on Runes ahead. Now it's a case of when will these hard runners box and go on to the mediums, as Robsu just gets a bit of oversteer and lighten up the rears there, as Joey B just sits outside half a second. Robsu just still has the better ERS to Joey B. Looking for a move at the inside of Runes, potentially. No, nothing doing there, as now Runes is really holding that Robsu, and Robsu can get an overtake done here potentially. No, even like that, Aston Martin is pulling away, even under DRS, as Runes runs very deep there, and now Robsu has got missing his front left end plate, and that is huge for this race lead battle here, as Runes just ran very deep, and Robsu just helplessly ran into the back of the Aston Martin, and now it's Joey B's time to shine. We'll see how much that Red Bull is hurting without that front left end plate. Just ran so close behind the Aston Martin, just didn't give himself time to react to any mistake. As now Joey B will fancy his chances, but that missing end plate will only help the Red Bull straight line speed here. So Joe's really got to find a corner now and get right onto the back of the Red Bull, as ahead LB Racing gets 3 seconds for track limits, as now Joey B is stuck behind Runes himself and will not want to have the same fate as Robsu ahead. Runes, look at the pace. Crazy pace. Have we got rain? It's raining. It is rain. Oh my god. Wow. We have got rain for the last 10 laps in this Las Vegas Grand Prix, guys. Strap yourself in. This is going to be a thriller. So Joe will be desperate to get past this Aston Martin, but also just not wanting to do the same as Robsu. And now we've got rain. That's really going to hurt Robsu as well for his pace. LB Racing has boxed for medium tyres on that last lap, but if rains come in, will it go to intermediate conditions? Is Josh the guy going to play an absolute blinder on the hard tyres here? This is too tight to call. Even Ralphie, still in that in the Alpine, is just running very impressively in P5 at the moment, as Runes runs very deep there. Maybe his tyres obviously just not having as much grip as Robsu and Joey B's, but now Joey B has no problem dispatching the Aston Martin, but look at the gap to Robsu already. Sitting at 1.6, and wow, even so, look at Runes' pace. Maybe a bit of DRS games there, as Runes goes straight on. Why is he playing DRS games with a car he's not even battling, as he has missed the turning point at the end of the Las Vegas Strip, and once again, for the second time tonight, it's just ran straight on into a runoff zone and lost various positions. Josh the guy is in the pits, and he has bolted on a set of intermediates. Is that the right time for intermediates? We shall see. So the gap to Robsu now is 2.2 seconds. But will the rain come to Joey B's saviour, or will the rain be Joey B's saviour with Robsu's front wing damage, or will Robsu want to fix that towards the end of this race? But we shall see if it flicks to intermediate conditions. Everyone else is jumping into the pits for Inters. I haven't seen anything to suggest right now that Inters is the right tyre to be on. We'll keep an eye on the timings, as Avenir is actually pulling away from he was pulling away from Josh Tagai, but not anymore. So a very intriguing battle now. This has got to be the right place and the right time to be on the intermediates. So what will Joey B and Robsu do, and will Robsu repair his front wing damage? The gap is 3.3 seconds. Robsu not really having too many issues with that front wing damage. If anything, it's just made him stronger. Yeah, 3.7 seconds. It looks like Robsu is actually coming into the pits to throw on the intermediate tyres, and I believe Joey B is coming into the pits as well. Robsu's in the pit lane. Let's see if he changes his front wing. In he comes. No front wing change for Robsu. That is crucial. LB Racing takes the lead of this race, and the rain does look heavier than it was a few minutes ago. Just a lot more steady coming down now, as LB Racing taking a huge gamble, and just looking at the little splutters on the track, that would tell me that it's intermediate conditions, and LB just might have made an error here and gambling to stay out. But he will probably be thinking as well, he's got nothing to lose at the moment. He has started last, and he's in first at the moment. So we will see how quickly Robsu can close down the gap to LB at the front here, as Josh the guy has actually jumped Joey B. Joey B's teammate has got ahead of Joey B, so it was looking like that it was going to be a shootout between Robsu and Joe for the race win here, but Josh the guy out of nowhere introduces himself to the race lead battle here, as he has won the last 2 rounds, and he has definitely got the momentum behind him here, and if he does win this race as well, he is well within being within striking distance for this championship fight. 2.5 seconds to Robsu. LB Racing just staying out at the front at the moment. Is he going to come into the pits? I don't think he is. I think he's going to try and gamble this on these medium tyres. We shall see what happens. If you just look on the outside of the track, I'm not sure if it's picking it up too well, but there was definitely splutters on that last lap that suggests to me that it's Inters. Yeah, just there. It was saying to me it would be intermediate conditions, but LB Racing just choosing to persist and carry on, and the gap has come down 1.3 seconds since I last checked, and that's in just a matter of 2 corners. So maybe, just maybe, now the intermediates are the tyre to be on. A potential double McLaren podium here, as LB Racing is finding himself in a conundrum as to what to do here. The gap to Robsu is coming down. It's come down over 2 seconds already this lap. So the medium tyres is not the tyre to be on right now. As maybe if LB keeps pushing like this, he's going to outbrake himself, or even worse, the DNF. Runes gets another time penalty, so that's 6 seconds altogether for Runes. That could be very costly, as he could find himself down in P9 at the moment by the end of this race with those 6 seconds. Lap 18 of 25, we're just coming down the Las Vegas Strip. It'll be lap 19 any moment, and the gap to Robsu is now 2 seconds. The Red Bull is flying, even with his front wing damage caused by Runes. It's not hindering Robsu at all. If anything, it's made him faster, and LB has ducked into the pits, and Robsu inherits the lead of this Las Vegas Grand Prix. So Josh Tagai and Joey B on course for a double McLaren podium here, which will also be a massive boost to the constructors, as Aston Martin lead the way on constructors at the moment. But it's not going Aston Martin's way tonight, as it's definitely going McLaren's way, but it's also going Robsu's way. Drogon just gets past MS going across the start-finish line. A sweet overtake by the Italian there on MS, as he looks to get a move on. He's missing the front left end plate, a lot like his teammate Robsu. Maybe this is a secret Red Bull code here, to have no end plates to find to unlock real pace around here. I know if that was me, the only way I'd be missing the front end plate is if I overcook it into a corner tomorrow night. Bacon Bear just unfortunately in the world of in a world of her own, 38.5 seconds behind MS in 11th at the moment, but will score points. So keep up the good work, Bacon Bear. It's nice to see you persist. Yeah, the gap is just growing, and the race has kind of stagnated now. The closest gap on track is MS, who has just been overtaken by Drogon. Sumo telling me to find a way. I will find a way to ruin my race tomorrow, as long as I ruin yours as well. Like I ruined Ghost Race in Elite last night. If you haven't heard about that, Sumo, please do ask him on the podcast next week. I was the bane of his life last night in Elite. He claims it didn't matter too much in the end, but during the race you could hear real frustration as I was holding him up. So LB Racing has been demoted to 4th position after his pit stop. So now he has to find 10 seconds in the space of 6 laps to catch up to Joey B. Joey B just really struggling in the wet conditions. Since it started raining, has just dropped off altogether from Robsu, and he is dropped off from Josh as well. But this is still a good effort from Josh Tagai in his championship bid, which has reignited the last few rounds, as he's won the last 2 races, and he's going to hoover up a potential P2 here, unless he can do something about Robsu's pace out front. We've got a few gaps which are closed up behind. Let's just quickly go back and see what is happening, as Avenir looking to get an overtake done on his teammate, and he does. Runes doesn't fight that too much. As Avenir gets past Runes, James Gardner gets past Ads as well. Ads has a strong start to the race, but unfortunately maybe phasing out in the rain, and tyre wear maybe getting the better of him. So Josh Tagai is not closing the gap to Robsu ahead. Robsu is still increasing the gap, even with that front wing damage, that missing front left end plate. It's just not hurting that Red Bull at all, as they carry on and just really nailing down his pace for this race win here. Just showing no remorse to the rest of the field behind. But Robsu does like these wet conditions as well. So McLaren P2 and P3 at the moment. They'll both be very happy with how the constructors is working out at the moment. Sumo's usually busy when elite races. Yes, he is usually. But I mean, is this? It looks like it's full wet conditions. Actually, that's to ignore the chat. This rain has really started to come down now, and will someone gamble and go on to full wets potentially? As we see Josh the guy having to ease off around that last corner, usually flat, but Josh had to ease off loads. It's definitely full wets. Just the last 30 seconds, it's just changed. This is brilliant conditions, I must say. So now, with Robsu's missing front left end play, this is definitely McLaren's time to shine, as Robsu will really start to feel his front wing damage, as Avenir and Ads come into the pits. They have gone on to the full wets. They are taking the gamble. There's 4 laps to go. Will it be enough to maybe catch out a few slower cars ahead, as MS also comes into the pits to box 4 wet tyres? Be interesting to see what happens, and somebody has gone into the barrier. It's Runes once again, just finding himself in trouble. That's the 3rd time he's overrun, and he's missing his right side of the front wing here. That Aston Martin is missing both end plates as well. Oh my days! This is a shocking outing for Runes tonight, as he's about to lose a position to Drogon, potentially behind. But also this high speed part of the circuit will really hurt that Aston Martin, especially in these full wet conditions. Got to be so careful now not to bin it and lose a front tyre. So Drogon is going to be all over the back of Runes here, looking to the outside, and Drogon is through. It's another place for Drogon. He's up to P7. Although LB Racing does have a time penalty, he's really closing up to the back of Joe. That was 10 seconds the gap when he came out of the pits. He's almost half that, but I just don't think it's enough to catch up to Joe. Even if he does pass Joe, he does have 3 seconds worth of track limit penalties. Let's quickly just get the penalties up on the screen. There isn't too many penalties tonight. 4 track limits penalties been dished out so far. 2 have gone to Runes in P8, so he's got 6 seconds worth of track limits. LB Racing has 3 seconds, and Bacon Bear also has 3 seconds. So other than that, everybody else is keeping it clean, and just notice the gap to Robsu is just increasing ever so much. And now that maybe these 2 McLarens are just really beginning to struggle for pace at this stage in the Grand Prix. LB Racing is closing down. I said that LB might be too far out to get a podium, but I could be eating my words here. He's really hammering down on Joey B ahead. Drogon now makes that 5 track limit penalties for this Grand Prix. That's 3 seconds for him, but it will not cost him. Same for LB Racing. He's not going to cost himself a position at the moment. And pretty much these track limit penalties actually for everybody just will not change the finishing order as it stands. Robsu, has Josh the guy got damage or something? No, he's just really struggling in that McLaren, as Joey B is actually closing up a hell of a lot to his teammate. Maybe P2 is on for Joe, but also LB Racing is really showing stonking pace in these wet weather conditions. Definitely the Red Bull and the Visa Cash App teams are both showing really strong pace in these wet conditions. Ralphie in a world of his own in P5, having a great race. It's been a brilliant outing for Ralphie at the moment. I'm sure he will be very keen to keep on to P5 or keep hold of it. James Gardner looking to close down on that behind. So the gap for the podium is really beginning to close up now, as Joey B has caught up to the back of his teammate, but also LB Racing has caught up to the back of Joey B. But LB Racing does have a 3-second time penalty, so if these McLarens work smart, they can just keep LB behind and not let him storm off it with a podium finish here. But LB Racing is going to be taking a good chunk out of Runes' championship lead here. As now Joey B is within a second of his teammate. LB Racing is 1.6 seconds behind Joey B and really hammering down on his old tier 2 foe and friend here tonight. So Robsu is just about to start the last lap as the Red Bull comes round the final corner, and we have one racing lap to go. LB Racing is within a second of Joey B now, so LB, I'm sure, will look to send it because he has the pace, and will he have the pace to pull out a 3-second gap on Joey B? As maybe a late podium for LB is on the cards here, if he can dispatch the McLaren. We'll keep an eye on it. LB just using his ERS, and he's looking to the inside. Is he going to send a lunge? No, he isn't. But maybe just trying to spook Joe into a mistake, or making Joe run wide, as he makes a dummy, and again he looks to the inside, but not upsetting Joey B on that occasion. And now LB is running out of time to really find 3 seconds now. He really needed to get that move done at the start of the lap, as there is pretty much just these few corners now, and then it's just a straight line to the finish. Robsu is working his way down the Las Vegas Strip, but we'll keep an eye here, as LB's drive is just phenomenal compared to Joey B's, as LB is in third at the moment, but he does have 3 seconds worth of penalties. I'm guessing they're legit, but we'll keep an eye on Robsu, just coming out of the strip now and coming up to the last corner. Robsu has been unstoppable tonight. The moment he got past Joey B, he never looked back. Robsu takes the race win here in Las Vegas. And Josh the Guy is going to come home in P2. LB Racing is going to come home in P3, but his 3-second time penalty demotes him to fourth. Joey B snatches the last podium position. Ralphie is going to cross the line with a very impressive P5 in that Alpine. Well done, Ralphie. That's a brilliant effort. James Gardner just probably needing another lap to get the move done. Drogon will be the next driver to cross the line ahead of Avenir. An absolutely torrid day in the constructors for Aston Martin, as Avenir actually does jump Drogon on track limit penalties. Ads around the corner to secure P9. A solid race for Ads as well. MS bringing the car home in P10. And Runes just unfortunately finding himself in P11 on the full wets. We might have a championship now, says Sumo. I think it is game on. LB Racing has really helped himself with this result tonight to be in the hunt for a second T3 championship. Bacon Bear will be the last car to cross the line. And across the line for Bacon Bear. Well, that was intriguing, those last 10 laps when it started raining. Yes, the rain did come eventually, and it turned into full wet conditions, but the majority of the drivers opting to stay on the intermediate tyres. So Robsu reigned supreme round Vegas. He doubled his money on the roulette that is Vegas, and put all of his chips onto P1, and he was rewarded. McLaren with a double podium, that will almost certainly helped their bid for the Constructors' Championship. As I said, Aston Martin just had a horrible week in the standings here, as McLaren gain good ground on them. So Robsy was the race winner. Fastest lap went to Drogon. Driver of the day, the game gave to LB. Most overtakes LB. Cleanest driver was Ralphie. Can't argue with that. So Robsy takes the race win. Josh the Guy in second. Joey B in third. LB Racing comes home in fourth position. Ralphie in fifth. James Gardner in sixth. Avenir in seventh. I believe that was Drogon in eighth. Ads is ninth. MS was 10th. Runes was 11th. Bacon Bear was 12th. Drogon sealed the fastest lap of the day with 1:33.8. Worse puns than Crofty. Shake my head. I know, I'm sorry, Sumo. I do apologise. But yeah, you love me, really. So, it's driver of the day time, and just going to come straight out of it. My driver of the day is Ralphie. A very good performance by Ralphie to get P5. Normally finds himself 3/4 of the way down the field, but a P5 in tier 3. Although the grid was a lot smaller than usual, Ralphie kept it clean and got solid points for Alpine tonight. So my driver of the day goes to Ralphie in P5. That pretty much concludes this race tonight. So just the usual shenanigans going on in APP this week. So we had tier 3 tonight on Monday night. Tomorrow night, look out for Ghost's his Twitch stream for the tier 2 Grand Prix, and he should have Dakar in the commentary box with him. I know Dakar was experiencing some Wi-Fi issues yesterday, so yet to be seen whether Dakar will be in the comms box with Ghost, but Ghost will most definitely be there. And Friday we set off to Vegas again in tier 1. So tier 1 will be very good to keep an eye on. Sumo Gilligan, who is also in the chat, keep an eye out for his YouTube stream. That will go up in the commentary streams as it starts at 7:30. And then Sunday is the creme de la creme of APP. Basically elite. No assists, and everybody just gives it a very good go. And yeah, we'll see if Finley can be stopped in elite, or will it be Kylo Ren? So the last thing to say is it's keep an eye out for the podcast. Everybody get into the APP server, tag Ghost, and tell him to upload the podcast. Look forward, as always, to listening to the podcast. It usually drops on a Monday night, Tuesday morning, late tonight usually. So yeah, spam Ghost, says Sumo in the chat. Absolutely, we shall. If there's although me and Sumo may be rivals on the track, but we will most definitely work together to spam Ghost to get the podcast released as soon as. Right, so I pretty much think that concludes this Monday night stream. We will be back same time next week for Tier 3. Let's have a quick look at where we're going next week in Tier 3. Season 18 calendar. So next week we are off to Austria for round 8. We did Austria reverse at the end of last season, but the next round is Austria the correct way around, and will almost certainly be an enthralling battle. Austria always cooks and delivers a great race. And then round 9 will be Suzuka, one of Sumo's most favourite tracks. I can tell you that from our career. And then we round off the season in Mexico. I enjoy Mexico quite a lot, so I'm looking forward to Mexico. Not my favourite track to watch on telly, but it's one of my favourite tracks to drive on the game. Right, so that is it, everybody. Thank you for your messages in the stream. Thank you for viewing, even if you have been watching in the background silently. All your views are appreciated. And yeah, that is pretty much it left for me to say. So have a great week, everybody. Please do take care of yourselves and wrap up warm in the colder conditions in the United Kingdom, especially. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for tuning in, and goodbye.